On this week's episode of Marketing O'Clock,
Gemini is getting personal.
Google is going in a new direction with promos in AI mode.
and we are totally thrilled about Google Ads' new budgeting beta.
Oh, on today's show.
Welcome, you are listening to Marketing O'Clock. Just stay tuned. Digital marketing news, but let's get specific. Digital ads, SEO and analytics, social media and more. Pretty much everything that'll make your website perform. With new shows every Monday. We give you the news with sass and puns and definitely hot takes. Thank you for tuning in. You know what time it is. It's officially Marketing O'Clock. Settle in, sit back, keep it locked.
Hey there, I'm Christine Zernheld.
AKA Shop.
I'm Julia Matier.
And I'm Greg Finn.
And it's officially Marketing O'Clock.
Here on January 19th, 2026. Right? Happy MLK Day.
That's crazy. Oh, yeah.
Great American.
Hope you enjoy your day
Agree.
off.
I pranked Greg and it didn't go great.
If this is a prank, I mean, this is like pretty low,
It kind
low
of-
quality.
What are you talking about? I've been planning it for like a month.
Okay,
Yeah.
so explain the prank.
Well, what had happened was we had a Thanksgiving potluck and we decorated for Christmas after. The tree was already decorated from last year in the basement. We just brought it on up.
I'm well aware that it was decorated in the basement.
And Greg's already complaining about the tree coming down too late.
In November.
There was
No,
one
I didn't complain in
year.
November.
That was when we set it up.
I said, I said it needs to go
Yes,
downstairs.
you
I said,
did
whoever
complain
brought
about
this
it in
damn tree up
November.
needs to take it down.
There was 1 year a couple years ago where it might have made it to February.
It made it
was
to
once.
October.
No, it did not. No, it did not. So then I made the joke that day, we're going to take the tree down for Mr. Grinch's birthday at the end of January. But today was mid-January.
Mm-hmm.
Somebody went to take it down, and I said, no, we should put it at Greg's desk because he
Perfect.
loves it so much.
Yeah.
Because I don't have anything to do.
Okay, you could have sat down and still worked. It wasn't in your chair.
Why is there a Christmas tree on my desk? There's a Christmas tree there?
Literally was.
I helped carry it
literally
over there
was
in
not.
3 seconds, and my
Okay,
belly was
okay.
in the way.
So then what else happened with this prank?
Well, so then we also put a nice mini tree in front of your favorite coffee pot, which was freshly brewed for you this morning
Okay.
out of the kindness of our hearts. And now you're complaining about the taste of said coffee. So I rest my case.
This coffee tastes like a rose bush. I like coffee that tastes like coffee. This tastes like a flower pot. I don't know why.
So nobody's going to try to make you coffee anymore. So you
Yeah.
can't be
There's
mad
so-
when there's no coffee here. When you get
Yeah.
here.
There is bags and bags of Pikes Peak or something Starbucks coffee. Coffee. Not grass coffee, coffee. I like the coffee flavored coffee. I don't know. That makes me an evil person. I'm sorry, I'm an evil person. And every year, that Christmas tree makes it to March, and I am the one that has to take it down. Mind you, I don't put it up, and I have to do it everywhere because nobody takes it down.
Okay.
You're a
That
mean
is
one.
literally. That's a personal choice.
No, it's not a
Yes,
personal
it
choice.
is a personal choice.
Anybody can
You don't
celebrate whatever
have
they
to take
want.
it down.
But once the thing is over, especially any kind of celebrations that have religious tones, shouldn't be up as a company for multiple months and quarters and years in a row.
The Christmas tree is a pagan ritual, okay? It's not
Yeah.
even, look at the history. People think Jesus,
Yeah.
my boy JC was born in April or something, okay?
When was he born?
People think in the spring. They don't know.
Okay. So no tree next year.
They celebrate his conception like 2 weeks before Christmas.
I don't know. I'm just annoyed that every year I take the thing down, and that's what is annoying. And so I just pick it up with all the ornaments, and I just take it right down into the basement and put it down. And that's
Does
what
this
I do
sound
all
familiar?
around.
Because we need a little Christmas.
I think that's exactly what the Grinch does too.
Yeah, so I picked the tree
Picks
up.
it up
I
with all
have
the
3
ornaments.
meetings, but before I even made it into work, and I just picked the tree up and pulled over.
You
put it
sound
down.
like Lisa Barlow. Sorry. I wish anyone watched Real Housewives of Salt Lake City, but it's just me.
Eh,
Brittany
maybe like
Bacon.
0.5% of the audience does.
Yep.
Maybe
Okay.
more than that.
Well, I bet a lot of them like a Christmas tree, and I bet it's still up and you're hurting their feelings.
Yeah.
There is not a single listener right now that has a Christmas tree up in their house.
Put it
Not
in
a
the comments.
single one. You put it in the
Put
comments.
it in the comments.
If you are still in the holiday spirit and want a free present, we've got you covered here at Marketing O'Clock. Head on over to marketingclock.com. We do free audits. And it's me. Like, if you want to prank me, anybody that wants their account audited, just go there, sign up, and you make more work for me. That could be a good prank that you could do. It's probably a better one than what Shep did with the Christmas tree. And what we do is we give a half hour. We run through. I've done literally probably 50 plus of these, maybe like 25 plus of these. I don't know, somewhere in that range. Take 30 minutes, run through the entire structure, and just let you know, like, some things that might be off with conversions. It's always where I start, just to see what we're looking at. Then look at account structure, campaign structure, run through, talk about what's going well, what's not. And then I cap it about 30 minutes. Sometimes I go like 45 minutes. But if you want a free audit, we also have a white labeled Gmail address. So it's in a looks like it's a connector, so you don't know that it's me or Cypress North. And if you just are looking for a second set of eyes, it is completely free. It is more work for me, and it is less work for you. So 30-minute audit, head on over to marketingclock.com and click on the free audit button.
Awesome. And another holiday present. This one was from our ads liaison, Jenny Marvin. She announced that campaign total budgets are now in open beta for search, PMax, and shopping campaigns globally. So this was announced in 2025, but now it's here in open beta. So you can set a fixed budget. She's saying this is for short-term promotional or seasonal pushes. You can have a duration from 3 to 90 days. Again, you just set the budget and it's going to have like a lifetime budget, and then it'll just spend it. I mean, how easy is that?
I know.
She also says that there is smart pacing. So smart adjustment based on demand, no forced burst spending at the start or end of the campaign. So I
love that part.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
However, I would just say test it and make sure there's no burst, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
When you have that entire budget, you need to know that Google's best interests, and I believe Ginny, but their best interests are to make their shareholders as much money as they can. And if there is a $10,000 budget for a week and you've got 1 day left and you still have $3,000 to spend, you may see that go up. It may not be a huge burst, but you should really check on this and make sure it's doing what you want it to.
Yeah. Good tip. I think this will be great. I love it for testing things. If your client has like a fixed budget for a limited test, or if you only want to put a certain amount of money to some promotion or sale, I love it. It's going to make things a lot easier, especially for people who don't want to do that math about how many days are in the average month.
The amount of time.
And especially little like short promotions, like you might have like a simple sale or something like that, or limited products. This could be really nice.
Just in time for the holiday season.
It's over.
Next up in the main news, more Google news. They've announced Universal Commerce Protocol, which is a new open standard for agentic commerce that works across the entire shopping journey. So it basically just lets you more effortlessly connect your e-commerce store with agents to have the AI agents check out within your site. So instead of requiring unique connections for every individual agent, it enables all agents to easily interact. It's built to work across verticals and is compatible with a bunch of existing industry protocols. It will soon power a new checkout feature on eligible Google product listings in AI mode in search and the Gemini app, which will allow shoppers to check out from eligible US retailers right as they're researching on Google's AI experiences. This works currently with Google Pay and soon will work with PayPal and then more payment methods.
And one note as well is that Shopify came out with their documentation. I know last week Bing had launched something, or Microsoft, for Copilot that would be having Shopify merchants auto-opted in. Shopify says that they are ready to roll with the UCP here. So I do not believe we've heard if you're already in, but it seems like if you're Shopify, you're like ready to roll with it.
Another part of this is that they're also introducing direct offers, which is a new way for shoppers to find exclusive deals in AI mode. So Ginny had a LinkedIn post about this, and she said that you should think of this as a salesperson negotiating a deal on your behalf. It allows you to offer special discounts to high intent shoppers to turn browsers into buyers. So she mentioned 3 key things to know about the pilot. First, it complements your existing strategy, so it works alongside PMax and standard shopping campaigns and currently serves in a specific product view to drive incremental conversions. She also says it acts on real-time intent, so you don't need to guess who needs a discount with rule-based offers. Google will use AI to determine when it's best to display the offer based on a shopper's intent and market context, which kind of spooks me a little bit. And then you can also maintain full control. So the AI will never invent a deal. The system relies strictly on your verified Merchant Center feed and the specific promo codes you upload. I think that's cool.
Yeah, I do. I like any option we get. I
Yeah.
mean, I always hate just the advertising a discount.
Yeah.
You know, I know a lot of people
Yeah.
do that with remarketing, and it's like, let's go do this. I'm interested in the incremental side of it. Is it like, do you just target new customers only? Do you look at customer match lists? How does that work? But there are lots of like D2C people where you get to the site and you have to hit 1 billion different X's on all these pop-ups for these discounts, but not everybody can offer discounts all the time. We work with people that have discounts and we work with people that don't have discounts all the time and can't do this. So I would just say, like, this is nice. I'm still really looking forward to not having to push and pay to give people a discount. But again, if it can be new customer targeting only, that is a different story, I guess. But it's nice. Nice to get things. So
nice to get
I like
nice to
it.
get a holiday gift.
Right. I don't have to use it, so I shouldn't complain. Something else you don't have to use is Gemini's newest feature, personal intelligence. And what this is essentially is Google can go through all of your YouTube history, your search history, every one of your photos, your Gmail, your entire inbox, and become smarter if you wanted to.
Perfect.
So this came out over on the Keyword blog, and it was kind of like this. I don't know. Can they just make a normal press release for once in their freaking lives? The guy was the VP of AI and Gemini and AI Studio, Josh Woodward. The title is Gemini Introduces Personal Intelligence, and the byline is, here's how it saved me from a headache at the tire shop and how it can help you. And his example was he forgot, I guess, what his car type was or what his tires were. If you're at a tire shop and you say, this is the car that I have, or they are there and they look at the car, they know what tires you have. Like, that's what I don't get. And then he's like, oh, and I asked Gemini what type of tires fit my 2019 Honda minivan. And it gave me the list of options for tires based on driving. And then I forgot my license plate.
There's
And
no way he drives a 2019 Honda.
That's
Minivan.
what I said on It's New. It's like, I don't believe you do, Josh. I'm sorry. Like, maybe, but I think he's just trying to like relate.
Yeah, but
You know what I mean? It's like, it's like an alien with like a human skin over his face. But anyway, then he forgot his license plate. So the incredible headache of looking out the window or going out to your car and finding your license plate, was able to find it through Google Photos because he asked Gemini. Gemini's new personal intelligence can skim through all of his life, and it found his license plate number. So a couple notes on this is that they are really saying that there's a lot of privacy here. So you do not have to use this, but it is secure and there will not be like any sensitive data. Google is saying they already have all this data, so there's no extra issues that would occur from this. The biggest deal in my mind is that this makes Gemini incredibly powerful. Right? Like if you can go through people's photos and say, this is what somebody typically wears, and then pass that along to a recommendation in AI mode, or maybe we can tie into that somehow as advertisers, and you can see, oh, they normally wear some sort of legging, and now you're interested in leggings, you're in market for leggings, things like that. Like look at their search history, look at all these different things that a lot of tools are already doing, but now you can tie into their Gmail, tie into their photo. That is something OpenAI does not have.
Yeah. And it's creepy to me because like all my pictures are of my kids.
Yeah. It's just creepy to me in general.
It is something that ChatGPT isn't even close to.
Yeah.
Right? They came out with a browser that was Mac only, and I don't know if anybody uses it. Like, this is huge if they roll this out.
Mhm.
It also appears that it will be turned off by default.
Thank
I
God.
do not think that will be the case.
Mm.
I think it's
me
one of
too.
those, Google likes to slow things, make it palatable until it's not. You can also choose at the moment what kind of apps you want to connect. It is a beta right now, so it's not for workspace accounts, and it is only rolling out to Google AI Pro and AI Ultra subscribers in the US at the moment. Once it is enabled, it works across all your devices, the web, Android, iOS, and with all models of Gemini. So when you look at the AI wars, this is like somebody has their like thumb on the scale, and it's Google with this.
Shocker.
And if you're interested in this a little bit more, we have an interview coming up with Mordy Oberstein, and we talk about personal intelligence from coming to Gemini, as well as some chunkable content. So stay tuned at the end of the show.
And now for this week's
Cool tool.
As a reminder, our Cool Tool segment is not an official endorsement or paid mention. We're simply sharing something we found in our travels that may be of use to our listeners and is really, really cool.
This week's cool tool is from Dan Petrovic. It's a Gemini grounding tool, so it reveals which URLs Gemini is pulling into its answers. It also extracts the sentences from each page that Gemini pulls in, so you can see exactly what it's pulling in. You can enter a query and a location if you want to see a specific location to see what AI is actually reading. It's great to see which content is working in AI search and which isn't. He wrote a blog post about it with examples of how to use it. We will have the link to the blog and the tool in our newsletter, so check it out.
Now it's time for this week's Take of the Week. This is a hashtag fire digital marketing take with extra spice served up for you. We simply deliver the take for your consumption. We give no opinions. We don't influence. You make the call.
This week's Take of the Week comes from Anthony Higman. And Anthony over on Twitter at Anthony Higman says, a Google rep, parentheses, all caps, who we have requested multiple times to not contact our client, parentheses, just CC'd the client on an email to us and mentioned multiple other clients in this email to our client. Exclamation, exclamation. I think there's like
That is
9
so
exclamations.
bad.
That's insane.
By the way, it's happened to me before, but with MetaRep. He
really?
named the meeting the name of another client.
Oh my God.
And then Anthony goes, this is beyond unacceptable, exclamation. How are all of these things still effing happening? Just shut the effing program down. Who do I escalate this to? Because, oh, hell no. And then he's got an example of it with the wrong law firms.
He's having a rough week. I got some stories later too.
Okay. Well, we turned it into a song. We're going to hear this for the first time. Tried to take his little rant and turn it into an AI generated song. So we got a little preview here.
Sounds like Kelsey Ballerini.
Got an email, saw that name. Here we go, same old game. We said it once, said it twice. You still cross that same red line. CC'd my client, are you kidding me? Dropped other names like the currency. How is this still a thing in play? How you messing up my day? Heart rate up, hands on keys. I'm one click from burning these receipts. Oh hell no, shut it down, shut it down. Pull the plug, I'm done with this now. How are all these fires still going on? Every line.
Wow.
That's amazing.
That chorus is amazing.
I love how they did
How is
that.
it not explicit?
We need to cut that chorus and just do the shut it down anytime Higman's ranting now. So we'll save that. That's amazing. I'll send that to you, Tables. But sorry, Anthony. Sorry.
That is so terrible.
Yeah, that's insane.
Now it's time for this week's Pew Pew Lightning Round. At this point in the show, we split up our content into 3 parts: paid, organic, and social.
Before we get into the paid news this week, the paid news is brought to you by us, by Greg. and his free Google Ads audit.
Are you pranking me again?
No, you said I could do this.
Oh, yeah. I thought you were trying to get me more work.
No, it's a new year. It's a new chance. Get fresh eyes on your Google Ads account. Greg will take a look at the account, make his recommendations on your setup, your conversion tracking, your account structure, and what you can be doing better. I think this is such a great opportunity for like in-house people also who don't talk to a lot of people in the industry. Maybe you're not in PPC all day.
Yeah.
Get some fresh eyes. You don't have to take the advice.
Also, for everybody out there that thinks I don't know or don't do anything, like you will be surprised. Like I can still cook and I'm funny. I make it like a funny show when I do it too. Like I put jokes in and I like make fun of myself. So if you're looking for a free audit, I still got it, just so you know.
Yes. So
I am up there in audits. Like if you have to put, if there was a world championship of Google audits, I'd put a lot of money in myself.
I feel like that's why you do it for free, because you just want to like get your reps.
I love it. It's so interesting
You're
to me.
passionate about like looking at other people's work.
I love seeing the thought process behind, because even when something's wrong, sometimes you find something and you're like, wow, how on earth did this one thing work? And it's like, this is, I would never in a million years do this, but this is working. I wouldn't touch it. I would supplement it with X, Y, and Z.
Hit us up at marketingoclock.com/free-ppc-audit, or just go to the website and you'll find the CTA.
It's right under the contact.
First up here, Nava has a roundup of announcements from the Microsoft advertising blog. So these are all new things. Number 1, PMax new customer acquisition is in open beta in Microsoft advertising. Thank you, Jesus. Happy birthday. She says you can chat into support for access. There's also improved PMax tracking and reporting. You can now add asset group level tracking templates, as well as get insights into share of voice, which is their version of impression share. There's also better PMax import and search theme mechanics. You can now have up to 50 search themes in Microsoft advertising in your PMax campaign. We love to see it. Content targeting is widely available for your audience campaigns. Go crazy with those topics if that's what floats your boat. Location targeting improvements. Nava says this means easier targeting for niche markets, and auto-generated text assets for responsive search ads are also available. Not sure if I love that one, Nava, but these are some great things here. Glenn Gabe posted an AI mode ad that he spotted in the wild. He says it's for guides and articles related to the query. I don't love this. Like, I just hope the people actually wanted to have an ad show for this and it isn't like a PMax final URL expansion. And there's like a strong CTA at the bottom and there's some really cheap clicks because it's not really bottom of funnel, but I don't know. I hope people have control over that. And I love the lead gen representation in AI mode ads. I thought it was only going to be e-commerce, so that's good.
I mean, these headlines, it looks like they're way longer than usual, right? So I wonder if that's just final URL expansion on PMax. That's sort of what it looks like to me.
Yeah,
Like
I
you
just like wonder what the goal was of the campaign, and I hope that they accomplish that goal.
Yeah.
Emmanuel Flossie has a new Feed Army video. If you are in shopping and you're not subscribed to Feed Army, you need to be, just for the thumbnails. This week he's wearing the chicest bucket hat I've ever seen. He looks so good.
It is a pretty nice bucket hat.
So this video is about how Google Merchant Center's automatic import is broken. Emmanuel says that Google says it's automatic, but it takes 1 to 2 weeks for the product to be updated, and he gives you everything that you need to know about that in less than 4 minutes. So check it out. Connor Crummy found a new Google ad setting that I think is pretty crummy. It is in the shared library under Location Manager. There's a new option called Google Owned Location Data. He has a screenshot of it if you're watching on YouTube. And when this is switched on, Google can pull imagery from its own library and use it in ads connected to your business locations.
That's the most annoying thing ever.
Yes, that gets... I wish I had a third thumb so I could give 3 thumbs down.
I know.
Hate it. But thank you for letting us know. Also, update from Brom Vanderhalen and Brom Vandercorner. There is a new ad placement in Meta called Reels Trending Ads. So you can buy slots immediately after top trending Reels content on Instagram. So right now there's probably a lot about like what was happening in 2016. You know?
That's like depressing me.
I know. Why haven't you like hopped on the trend?
Because all my phones from then are broken. I have nothing from
Yeah.
2016.
I could find something because I was still posting like
I
the
could
Facebook
probably find something on
albums.
Facebook. Yeah.
But like, I just don't want to
Oh.
advertise how much beauty I've lost personally.
I don't want to advertise
just
how
not.
weird I was in high school.
I know. Well, I wasn't in high school.
Oh, sorry.
I was like, I was getting past my weird phase by 2016.
I was mid awkward in 2016.
Yeah, I didn't want to put any middle school pictures up.
Right.
Yeah. So if you are using these, which by the way, you have to contact your Meta rep to gain access because they're so new, you can add a breakdown to see the topics of the reels that are trending that you're showing around. So pretty cool. Dwayne Brown posted on LinkedIn this week asking about testing shopping ads imagery in Google Ads. This is something that Ginny teased earlier this year, and I guess people were talking about it in a Slack group he's in. Google said this was teased at GML and is currently being tested with a small number of merchants. Stay tuned for broader availability. So you'll be able to test different creative and shopping at some point. Bia Camargo, new source for us, posted this week that Google is quietly rolling out a new feature inside Google Ads Labs called brand linking. This is about helping Google better understand the relationship between your brand, your ads, and your intent across the Google ecosystem, which is more and more important as we're using PMax, ICYMI, demand gen, things that aren't just keyword based. Giving Google as much information there as possible is definitely going to be helpful. So check that out if it's available to you. And again, I am really worried about Higman this week.
Oh, hell no, shut it down, pull the plug, I'm done with this now.
I think it started out like pretty calm. He's posting about these Google terms of service and he seems pretty level-headed. He says they updated their call and messaging ad terms again. And there's some important things to note. One, they're recording everything now, which includes live chats, text messages, phone calls, and other communications initiated through Google Ads. Two, the burden to inform other parties of this is on us now, the advertisers. So if you accept them for your business on a client's behalf, you are responsible for telling employees, agents, vendors, clients, and making sure that your clients notify their staffs if you're like worried about litigiousness. He also says you must obtain express consent, not implied consent, and Google and third parties can monitor and use these recordings now. He says this is about AI, which is probably true.
Yeah, 100%.
The liability for accepting these terms is again applied to advertisers, not Google. And lastly, these terms are not HIPAA compliant.
Perfect.
So
Wow, that's amazing.
if you need to follow HIPAA guidelines, do not accept these and contact Google support.
That's insane. Remind me that.
I'm laughing to not cry.
Yeah, for real.
Then he started to get a little more fired up over he's setting up a new Google Ads account and you can select an option to create an account with a campaign for faster setup. And it just like makes the campaign for you. He says, yo, this new Google Ads setup process is super deceptive and dark patternish. Now they make use AI, I think make you use AI from jump and then have more settings where all that BS settings are pre-opt-in. Super effed up, Google. Yo. And they do location targeting for you from the URL. You are forced to enter in setup. Such balls. Quote.
Such balls.
Such balls.
That's my new saying in
End
2026.
quote.
Such balls.
Can we write in the Google letters? Oh, I'm glad he's getting creative. What's happening in organic?
All right. First up, in organic, there is a report from Reuters that news publishers expect search traffic to drop by 43% by 2029. Global referrers are already falling, according to Chartbeat data that's cited in this study, show that organic search traffic is down 33% globally from November 2024 to November 2025, and down 38% in the US in the same period. And then the article goes on to say that AI overviews are a major factor. Google's AI overviews appear at the top of roughly 10% of US search results, and I'm assuming this is for news-based items. And studies are showing there's higher zero-click behavior when the news is just there and you don't have to click through. And we talked about this last week with Glenn Gabe. Like, it's just tough time for publishers. Really tough. I feel for them. All right. Google's IP boss, according to the pressgazette.co.uk, they shouldn't pay for AI training on freely available content. So Google's senior manager for government affairs and public policy, Roxanne Carter, said that Google wants to create wholly new content and not replicate publishers' work in products like AI overviews and AI mode. She also insisted that publishers can opt out of AI training without being penalized in search, but did not comment, according to the Press Gazette, when asked about the ability to opt out of content being scraped for AI overviews and being affected in the same way. Because you can't. You can't get out of AI overviews. You can't get out of that unless you completely remove yourself from search, which was a deliberate move by Google, as we saw in that one scale of sort of like damage. They chose the one that would be a higher damage. That was last year when that came out. Carter also said that when it comes to training AI models on freely available content that is available on the open web, we do not believe we should license. So no need to license there. And then went on to say what the AI model is trying to do is analyze huge amounts of data to identify patterns and statistical relationships between words, language concepts. It's not an information retrieval system. It's not a database. It's not looking to make copies. What it's trying to do is develop new tools and then produce wholly new content. And I think that's what nobody wants. I don't want content from a computer.
Yeah.
Like, you don't have taste buds. And I know we're going to talk about inspired taste and some of the Frankenstein recipes. Computer, you don't know what taste is. You do literally cannot and do not know what taste is. And you can try to come up with as many things as you want, but you don't know taste. You don't even know what it is. I don't want wholly new content. I do not need that. I do not want that. Nobody does. You do not taste. You do not smell. So anyway, she went on to say, I think they were talking about, should you pay? And she said, I think it depends on if you're asking us to pay for every single piece of content for training the model. And if that content is freely available on the web, then no. But if you're asking us whether or not there should be deals for access to content that might be off platform or archive, then yes, absolutely those deals are being done. So I guess if you've got content and Google wants it, archive it, and put it behind a paywall, and that's when they'll pay you for it. Nobody's truthful anymore.
They need to stay away from the recipe bloggers.
They need to what?
Stay away from the recipe blogs.
It's just not helping anything when you tell somebody to cook a cake for 4 hours. Like, it's just not. Okay, and speaking of inspired taste, they had a tweet out saying, what on earth is this? Our search was guacamole recipe inspired taste on our desktop machine. The AIO result in our domain recipe link isn't cited. This is shameful. It makes the recipe, it shows all the ingredients. It goes step by step with different images. It does link to the YouTube. It does link to the Facebook and the Instagram. But I don't know where it's getting all of these step-by-steps from, unless it's consuming everything on YouTube and turning that into it. But why wouldn't you choose the source to link to?
Mm-hmm.
Like, at this point, it's hard to think this isn't blatant. Like, somebody's looking for this specific brand. It's finding the content, probably in the easiest possible way, which is the recipe on the website, and it is not citing it.
Do you think they're citing that video of the lady who's like, peel the avocado, peel the avocado? Do you know her?
Peel the avocado, peel the avocado.
She's the only source you need for guacamole, except for inspired taste, of course.
Okay, well, something not that sweet is apparently a search engine called Pearl, and it is under an FTC lawsuit because it had a chatbot that was known as Pearl, and it asked further questions about the search before sending a form to join the company's question and answer service for either $1 or $5. And people might think, hey, I'm looking for a good competitor to Google. I'm looking to support something small. Let's let the little guys win. Well, once your credit card information was handed over, allegedly the company started milking the customers, according to NPR, and would force them into a $79 fee, up to $79 fee, and it would be recurring. So don't use Pearl, I guess. All right. And there was an interesting study that looked at traffic share, and ChatGPT saw a drop, which was in December. It dropped from 0.25% to 0.21%. And this was on 75,000 websites. And I believe Ahrefs pulled all this data. December's slow overall, Tim Solo had said, and that referral traffic may be stable, but that's a big drop. Like ChatGPT, if you look at the chart, has been going up and up and up. And even in November, it kind of was flat, but I'd say slightly up. And then there was a big drop in percentage. And according to Ahrefs, Google drives almost 40% of traffic. And for ChatGPT to even lose that much is a huge deal, 0.21% of traffic. And that's it in organic. What's happening in social, Julia?
First up for social, TikTok is adding channel sales partners to their marketing partners program. The goal is to connect prospective advertisers to platform expertise that's aligned with their specific business requirements. So it seems like it's mainly for small and medium-sized businesses, which is good. And initially, they're starting with 6 channel sales partners, which are C4 Analytics, Digenus.
Nailed it.
I don't know how to say it. Local IQ, Logical Position, Optio, and Scorpion. Instagram is expanding the option to have more control over your algorithm. So they tested this previously and now it's rolling out to all English-speaking users globally. So you can control your algorithm by tapping on this top slider icon in the top right corner. And then you can select which topics you're interested in and which ones you aren't to help make your algorithm better, I guess.
My algorithm on Reels is so different.
I'm not
TikTok. It's like
a Reels
crazy.
person. Sometimes I catch myself watching Reels. I'm like, whoa.
They're like,
are you okay?
For me, the Reels are like so stupid, but like they make me laugh so hard.
Mine are just like, I feel like it's like food. The first change is that you can add links to a clip within your editing tools, making it easy to provide a reference link to another clip or account. So then when you're playing the video in Instagram or whatever, the links will show up when you export your clip. It makes sense in the picture. Look at the picture. Edits also can now prompt you with custom ideas for your next clip based on previous Reels you've shared. You get 10 custom ideas each week.
I'm sure they'll be great.
I'm sure they are. The ones recommended and like the example was like thrift shopping, brushing your teeth. Like it was like, I don't know. Brushing your teeth. I don't think that was actually one, but just like get ready with me. Like what everyone does. I don't know. I didn't feel like they were very intellectual. That sounded mean.
That's what I'm saying.
But like not that
the
deep.
Reels are not intellectual. Like mine are just like different versions of the Undertaker waking up from his coffin.
Yeah, they're like, it's a whole different world over there. And then the last edit is that there's new video effects being added, including bounce, fisheye, and blackout. So if you're waiting for those, they're now here. X News, they've provided some tips on how to get the most from your campaigns. First, there's a best practices guide to setting up a campaign. They also have ones for sales campaigns that also talks about best practices, and then the learning phase and how long you should run your campaigns for. They have a guide to app campaigns, which talks about creative, reporting, and optimizations. Definitely worth checking out if you run ads on X. Last for social, I think this is kind of interesting. LinkedIn is becoming a key citation source for LLMs. So SEMrush created this citation list based on a study of over 230,000 prompts. And there's a little chart here that lists out like most cited to least cited. LinkedIn is number 2, just below Reddit. Wikipedia's 3. Medium.com, ever heard of her, is 4. But this was also backed up by a study from Spotlight, which shows that AI tools are citing LinkedIn sources up to 5 times more often this year. So, something to consider.
And that brings us to our real life segment, straight out of our accounts and into your ear holes. It's time for Working Hard or Hardly Working, where we talk about what's going on in our IRL work, good, bad, or otherwise.
Hardly working. I just want to revisit the Christmas tree thing because I have been notified. Sorry. So you had to move the tree away, right? It's in your desk.
Yes.
But you knocked it over and laid it down on the ground.
It fell off. I'm holding a bag. I'm holding a coffee. We'll put the video in.
Guys, you had a coffee with you?
Yeah, I think I set it down. But
Was it that coffee?
Send a Christmas
I'm a half
tree.
hour late for a meeting.
Well,
I'll get the video right now.
Please post a picture of the Christmas tree laying on the floor on the side. It's so sad.
I told you, whoever got the tree out has to put it away.
And we will.
It's January 19th.
One day a week.
Please leave it there on the floor.
The whole year.
I'm getting the security footage right now.
The security footage.
Yes. I will get Shep glancing and giggling. I literally had 3 meetings before 10:30.
No,
And
you pushed
and
it over.
no, I picked the top up and it fell
Lay
down. Tables was there. Tables
And you
was
didn't
out.
even take a second to did you not think it was a
I
thing?
don't want the Christmas tree up. I told you, if you get the Christmas tree up, you got to take it down. I'm sick of taking the darn tree down. I don't want it up. It's January.
We can leave the Christmas lights up till January. That's what
All
Taylor
right,
Yeah.
I got the footage. I'll share it in Slack.
Okay. You can see me start to try to help, and I'm like, it's light. And then my belly was just in the way. I couldn't reach it.
Oh my God.
Okay, working hard, really. I just wanted to give out a shout out. Mark Saltarelli, former host of the show, was just promoted at Order, and he's leading the marketing team, and he does such amazing work. And he gave me and Greg and Jill a shout out on his promotion post and said we're inspiring into his
cute.
career. So you inspired me in my career, Mark. He got me hooked on B2B SaaS. He's just the best guy. So I
No,
really
literally.
appreciated that. And I was glad to see him doing well. Best
Wow.
wishes with the new gig. Congratulations are in order.
Working hard for me this week is, I feel like just talking to people in person.
Sorry.
I went and saw a client in person this week, and it's always just nice to see people outside of just a regular meeting and have a normal person conversation with them. And then some of the Rochester office came here today, and it's the same thing. I only ever see them on calls quick. There's not that little back and forth during the day that I have with people in Buffalo. So it's nice to hang out with them.
Nice.
And
I just wish they would zip it upstairs.
yeah,
and I wish you'd
yeah,
turn
my
your
bad,
Slack
my bad.
notifications
But yeah, it's great to talk to people in person. So
All right. And something working hard for me, I would just say standard campaign types in Google Ads. We are using a new MMM tool, and Performance Max for one account has looked really great in platform. But when looking at a different attribution view, we're seeing that shopping and search campaigns are really doing a fantastic job, especially from a return on ad spend standpoint, that it's much less of a drop than what we're seeing against in-platform for PMax, and getting new customers as well. So just another note there, having multiple attribution sources and sources of truth can be really helpful. And we're seeing that PMax is taking a little bit more credit than some of the other ones. So working hard, standard campaigns.
Now it's time for this week's ICYMI.
ICYMI people.
This is something you just might not have seen. Maybe something that you overlooked, but you shouldn't have.
ICYMI people, Nava Hopkins, our Microsoft advertising liaison, shared 3 things you may not know about Microsoft advertising. Number 1, you can make up to 15% changes to budgets or TCPA or TROAS without triggering learning periods like you would in Google Ads. That is amazing. I did not know, and I'm really excited about that. Number 2, exclamation points are allowed in headlines. Go crazy, people. Anthony will love that.
Yeah, Anthony's drooling over that.
Yes. She has some examples of things you can and can't do. Don't go crazy, but you're allowed to use some slammers in there. The word
slammer.
Yeah.
Yeah, slammers is a great way to. Can you say "wahahaha"?
I don't think
That's
so.
a question for Anthony.
Number 3, Microsoft gives customers the choice to serve ads in time zones of the users who are seeing the ad or the ad account. And that is in your individual campaign or ad group settings, which kind of breaks my brain, but it's amazing that you have the ability to do that. And then my favorite difference is the max CPC limits that you can set with smart bidding without having to do a portfolio bid strategy like you have to in Google Ads. So I'll give you an extra one. That's 4. But thank you so much for sharing, Nava.
Now it's time for our must-read marketing article of the week. An article so advanced, so in-depth, so detailed that we simply cannot cover it in its entirety on today's show.
This week's must-read marketing article of the week comes from Christine, aka Shep Zernheld over on Cypress North, and Shep has a great article. It's called What to Include in a Year-End PPC Report for Lead Gen Accounts. And Shep, I'm just going to summarize this. You don't have to. You did all the hard work. You've got it all on paper. Shep, you talk about having a full funnel view, which is super important. Not just talking about what's happening in ad platforms, but where the rubber meets the road, what is going on within CRM, within actual leads, sales, ops, everything else that matters so that you can prove your value, which is super, super, super important. And not enough people do, to be honest with you. Dealing with attribution, not only in this year, but setting expectations for next year. Like, how are we going to look at attribution? Something that is a great time to do in a new year. Here is how we want to look at attribution in 2026. Let's be all on the same page. Let's be aligned on this, whatever we want to say, so that when we get to the end of the year, we have a paper trail of what we're going to look at for the coming year. I'm talking about incrementality and showing that off. Other factors that might be economic, that might be just Google Ads based, right? With, say, changes in accounts or competition, things like that. Setting recommendations. It's a great time to get things approved for a coming year. And then something that not enough people do, and I don't understand it, is coming up with goals for the year, right? Like, now is the time. You have 11 more days of January, 12 more days of January, whatever. Get your goals for the year in email, on paper, and reference those for every month coming after. And then hit your goals. That's like the number one thing, whether you're in-house at an agency, know where you're going, outline it. In 2026 in January is the best time to do it. So great article, a must-read one. Thank you, Shep.
Thanks, Greg. And now onto our interview with Mordy Oberstein.
I am so honored to be here alongside the one and only Mordy Oberstein from SE Ranking. Hey, Mordy, congrats on the new gig. See some great content coming from SE Ranking. And I want to talk to you about some personal intelligence, something you know a lot about, correct?
Well, I don't have any, so it's an interesting topic to talk about. I'm stealing your joke from earlier.
All right, so Google rolled out with personal intelligence in the Gemini app that will basically look through all of your Google photos, if you allow it, Gmail, YouTube, and your search history for this. And then it's also known that it will be coming to AI mode in search soon. This seems like a big deal.
It does, from the hype machine point of view. Can I maybe like bring it back down to earth for a second? Do you remember when Google did, I think it was, I don't think, was it I/O? It might have been. I'm like terrible, like remembering things at this point. I'm old. And they did like a quick, we're going to integrate data sets into Gemini. And the example they used of like really complicated baseball stat. But when you broke down the query, it was not complicated at all. It's basically like, who's the best baseball player and what are the stats? That's the knowledge graph and baseballreference.com. Like super easy information. But they made it sound really complicated and really complex. And as you pointed out earlier, and it's new, like the query, the prompt that they use is like, I don't know what kind of car I have.
Right. Yeah. So that was in the release. The head of Google's, or the VP of Google Labs and Gemini and AI Studio, had said, I'm looking for tires for my car, and basically asked Gemini to say, what kind of tires do I need based off of, I would assume he connected Gmail, Google Photos, some probably previous searches and things like that. And it not only spit out the tire size in his car, but it also gave him a couple different options for tires.
Right. So my question is like, how good is it really going to be and how useful is it really going to be? Or how much is this Google saying, hey, you know what ChatGPT can't do? It can't access your email. It can't access this. It can't access that. We can position ourselves as being way more intelligent than ChatGPT and OpenAI is by positioning ourselves this way. So how much is this actual ability versus brand positioning? That's my question.
I think that's a great point, though, right, that you made, where this is a differentiator. And I understand not everybody wants this. Some people want to be on their way and do things their own and value privacy. But other people, that have ordered from vendors in the past. You know the specific size from orders that come through their Gmail. You can see what they're interested in YouTube, and you can give good recommendations, not only for organic search, but you could also use this to better use advertising.
I think this could be, if it really works well and it really does what they say it's supposed to do, which I have questions about, this could be amazing. I just don't know what the actual performance of this thing actually is and will be, and how soon it will take them.
Yeah, so to start, you're opted out of this. So you're going to have to opt in, but I would assume that probably is going to change at some point. But I don't know. I think this is something, to your point, that is not easy to replicate for other folks out there. I mean, maybe Microsoft a little with Copilot, but there's just, if they don't have this wealth of data that Google has on it, it's just not there. And then we also heard that, Gemini is going to be integrating with Apple as well. So that data from Apple is allegedly not going to be passed to Google so that they can keep it, but that could be something else. I'm assuming that could help further this as well.
Yeah, I'm also wondering if that just makes Siri less stupid.
Oh, it's got it. I mean, how could you make it more stupid?
You know what my best part of that Siri is? You ever see you're an NFL person, they have the commercials, and they ask Siri during the NFL commercials, "Hey Siri, who's got the most touchdown passes this season?" And it doesn't answer it.
All right, and we had some mic issues, but we should be back. And Morty, I'm going to just query and tell you how bad it is. It's not been working super great for me. How many R's are in the letter strawberry?
In the word strawberry, there are 2 R's. One is in the middle and the other's toward the end.
Is that wrong?
I think there's 3 R's.
I see where you're coming from. Actually, in strawberry, there's only 2 R's. One is after the W and the other one is before the Y, but it's easy to think there might be 3.
Sure
Sounds
about that?
just like
Absolutely. If you spell it out and count carefully, you'll see there are just 2 R's in strawberry, but it's definitely a word that can trick you at first glance.
Can you spell strawberry?
Of course, it's spelled Strawberry. So you'll see those 2 R's are right in the middle and at the end.
All right. Thanks, Siri. Yeah. But yeah, I mean, I think this could be really nice. The intelligence, like that, and that's the thing. Everybody is still so gung ho on AI and saying this is the best, and it can't still sometimes do the most menial tasks, like figure out how to spell strawberry. That would be nice.
It's really hard. It's a hard word.
So will you use personal intelligence when Google launches this?
Will I use it? I don't know. I'm old and I'm paranoid. So maybe? Probably not.
Okay.
Although I don't know what's the difference. Google already hits tracking me and they're recording all this anyway. Just now I'm opting into it.
So I'm sure you also saw the news about AI in Gmail. Would you use AI within Gmail?
Yeah, I would.
Okay, I think that's cool just because I get so many
that's
emails.
Cool. It's not on mobile. It's not on the app, though. At least I didn't see it on the app, so that's annoying.
Yeah, I'm sure there's probably a way to get there. Okay, well, either way, this is, I think, could be, like you stated, something that's a very niche thing that only Google can do within the AI game. So interesting to see how this plays out, but could be a huge competitive advantage.
Huge.
All right. And then Morty, last week, Danny Sullivan was on the Search on the Record podcast and was talking about bite-sized chunks. Is that correct?
Ooh. Search off the record.
Well, no, it was on the record.
But he was off the record. The show is off the record.
So we can't talk about this?
My Gmail is closed, so they can't track us anymore.
Okay, so at the 17.5 minute mark, according to Barry Schwartz, that puts all of this out there, Danny said, one of the things I keep seeing over and over again is some of the advice and guidance people are trying to figure out what to do with LLMs or whatever, is that turn your content into bite-sized chunks, because LLMs like things that are really bite-sized, right?
Can I tangent for a quick second and just realize something? You're right. Barry does put all this out there. Let's say none of this is actually real and just Barry just making all this. No one would know the difference.
He's just out there trolling.
Yeah. Imagine that.
And then Danny Sullivan said, just make sure that every single story references seroundtable.com.
We should totally This has got to be a thing to bring up because like, I bet you it's true. I bet you Danny never said half these things. He's not on Twitter anymore. He can't defend himself.
Is he not on Twitter anymore?
I don't know. Search. I mean, maybe he is personally, but the search liaison. He's not. I don't know what he
Yeah.
does anymore. He's not the search liaison. Thank
So-
God you all have Ginny. But anyway, yeah, chunking. Sorry.
What are your thoughts on what Danny said?
Well, inevitably, I'm going to tick somebody off with his answer. So it doesn't matter. I don't like chunking. I think Danny's right, but wrong as usual. The whole thing of like just do things for users, I think that ship has sailed a long time ago. We can't keep using that same line sort of thing. His point about basically everyone turning all of their content into a giant FAQ, that makes sense. Like, don't do that. And I think that there's my whole shtick has been like there's a trade-off here. And there's probably opportunity where you can chunk something, get into an LLM in the output and get cited. There's also like, that's not a good long-term strategy for anything. Like just chunk everything. That's your strategy. What are we
I'm a
doing
chunky
here?
boy. I'm a chunky boy
Are you
myself, Morty.
Do you remember Chunkies, like the candy? My
No.
father loved those. There's a thing. I'm not making this up. Is that an old reference? It might still exist, so it might not actually be old. But there was a candy bar called Chunky.
Never heard of it.
Come on. I'm not...
But I guess like I to me, and we talked about it on It's New. We talked about it on Marketing Clock a little bit last week, but I want to get your opinion on it. I feel like Danny can't win with answering things. People are going to look at this and read it and say, don't chunk your content. And it's like, you don't know what the content is. Everything is different. If you're doing like the top 15 training shoes of 2025, you sure as hell should chunk your content so that I can go right to the specific Nike sneaker that I'm looking at buying. I can see the chunk of the pros, the chunk of the cons, the chunk of the pictures, chunks everywhere, spewing about. It makes it better for your visitors. So I think it's like, I just get worried anytime this gets out there and people are like, oh, don't do this. It's like, no, do it if it helps. And I know you said that's stupid, but I think it's like the only thing you can say.
Oh, no, I don't think that's stupid. I think like what the problem is like when you talk about these things in vacuums and you talk about like there's zero sum, like the way it seems to me, like the way SEOs are they're talking about is either I mentioned this on It's New, like either your content is completely unhinged, there's no formatting whatsoever, or it's header sentence, header sentence, header sentence. Those are the only two options that exist. And if you want to win the LLM game, then you better like do header sentence, forget sentence, header word, header another word. And that just doesn't like, there are people I think who are looking at that as like that's an LLM visibility strategy, but I think there's larger issues to take into account. It's just what's actually good for the user. Like that does act, or what's actually good for my brand, or how much opportunity cost is it actually in this? Like, if I chunk and I get into the LLM and I get the output and I get into the citation, in terms of like getting and breaking into the vertical, breaking into the space or gaining revenue, how effective is and how worthwhile is that?
I mean, it's going to be more worthwhile as things move on for sure.
Yeah. But like if you're trying to compete with like Nike, is chunking going to get you there? And I'm not saying everyone's competing with Nike. I'm just using Nike.
Yeah. No, I get it. I just think that Google can't say anything because people take it the wrong way. And I understand
That's the truth.
that aspect of it. And I understand, Morty, to your example, what header that's the same rough size as the content in it is bad too. Like it helps nobody. And like what Danny said is true. And if you're making a header and then you've got a sentence that's the same, that is working to build things for LLMs that are not going to help anybody. And when people get onto the site, they're going to look at this and be like, what the hell am I on? And that's why it's like, I know you said that in the past make stuff for users, but it's really the only answer they can give. What other answer could they give?
That's true. I think like though they could be a little bit more nuanced sometimes and like give actual examples, make differentiation, run through a case. Like say things like people's attention spans are shorter, so you probably should be writing shorter paragraphs and chunking things a little bit more. Or let's call it chunking. Let's just call formatting your content so that users can digest it the way they want to. So say that like attention spans are shorter. People don't want to read.
Yeah, and I think like you guys over at SE Ranking just put out a really interesting health related AI overviews, And I would say that that's like a mildly chunked piece of content, which is great. There's key takeaways on certain things. It talks about going from Dr. Google to Dr. AI with some different answers in there. It's not huge, but I can skim. If I want to see the top sources and skim right to there, there's a section of that that's good for the user. And at some point, I honestly think that's all Google can say with some of the stuff.
Truth. By the way, on that post, like we put the image right away because like people are going to look at the data. They want an image right away, even though it's not relevant. Like right now, let's work it in there because that's what that's what people want. They want the chart right away. So fine.
Yeah. Give them the chart at the top. Great.
Great.
Do what the users want. Okay. Anything else you want to talk about chunking? Anything in general? Where can people find you? Any plugs? What you got, Morty?
Plug for SEO ranking. I'm just started there, I don't know, a couple weeks ago. At this point, dude, life has moved fast. It's January 15th, the date of this recording. Check out It's New for SEO news every day. We don't market that show at all, which is incredible.
And the only way you can
also
find
not findable.
It's New is by going to YouTube and searching for Rusty Brick.
It's amazing. We're the worst marketers.
It's like not on the website. It's not on SE Roundtable. It's just, you just got to go to Rusty Brick. That's how you find it.
It's so good. I love that.
Anything else?
Oh, yeah. LinkedIn. Yeah. LinkedIn. I guess Twitter still exists.
Okay. Mordy Oberstein on LinkedIn. And you're on Twitter. Mordy Oberstein over on Twitter as well.
Yeah, but I mostly just troll Barry on Twitter and you a little bit.
Yeah, but some people like that. So, well, thanks for hopping on, Morty. Much appreciated. And we'll have you back anytime you want.
Oh, really? I'm sorry you had to talk to me twice in one day, but thank you for having me.
You're a recurring guest. We don't have many recurring guests.
I'm a recurring
I think you're up there with Barry and Glenn Gabe.
Sorry, Barry. Sorry, Glenn. That's horrible.
Maybe Higman. We'll see. Higman.
Oh, that makes more sense. Yeah.
All right. Take care, Morty. Thank you.
Bye.
Bye.
And now onto our playlist of curated songs to work to. You can head over to playlist.marketingoclock.com to listen to Marketing a Playlist. I will be adding I Just Might by Bruno Mars. Julia, what will you be adding?
I'll be adding Fine Line by Harry Styles because he's making his comeback.
It's defrosting.
It's not even a comeback. It's just he's back.
What about you, Greg?
I See You by Missio.
All right, that does it for today's show.
It is now officially not Marketing O'Clock.
Thanks for listening.
We miss you already.
And we can't wait to see you next week.
Thanks for listening to Marketing O'Clock. If you're looking for more information on today's topics, head over to marketingoclock.com/newsletter to receive every single article we covered. We share the news as it breaks in our Discord community. Head over to community.marketingoclock.com to join.